the sense that she was not domesticated, in a way, you know. She didn't have any brothers or sisters,
Right.
or cousins, so she was a little bit odd.
She kind of got to do what she wanted to do.
Not much. Her mother was very strict.
Mm.
But she, for instance, she could go in the fields barefoot. And she remembered to the day she died, how her feet felt running in cut, for instance, cut wheat,
Yeah. Fields.
the fields, and they were up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to learn to slide, otherwise you got your feet up, hurt,
Huh. Interesting.
you know.
Yeah.
She said if you slide them, you slide on the edges.
On the edges of it. So she didn't have brothers or sisters?
No.
Wow.
Well, her parents married. Her father was quite old.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother was young.
Mm-hmm.
And her mother, my babcha, she was quite an artist in her way, you know.
Was she?
Singing, she wrote poetry. And she had quite a few, in Warsaw, quite a few friends. Different group from my grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
because grandfather was all law, judges, and my grandmother, artists, fun people.
Mm-hmm. And you said he was quite a bit older than she was.
About 20 years.
Do you think that was like an arranged marriage?
No, that he fell in love with her.
Did she fall in love with him?
I don't think it was the fantastic love, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
She was very grateful, and she trusted him.
Mm-hmm.
She had such a miserable childhood. that
Your grandmother did.
She had a sister who was loved, and she was not. And it was so the point that they weren't caring for her.
Wow.
Like her mother was like that, and the father was not absent with his job.
Mm-hmm.
What he was doing, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a lot of times out of the house. So she was under the influence of...
A mother who didn't love her.
No. And once, she told me this herself, she said once, she looked at the shoes of her sister. She said, oh, I'd love to, I'd love a pair like that. And she said, well, get it, ask your mom. And I said, I don't have them. Boy, don't you have other shoes than what you've got on? No. And she learned how to mend things.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, she might have holes. She taught me how to mend socks
Mm-hmm.
with one of those mushrooms.
Yeah.
Little mushrooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had a sad childhood.
So it was shaped like a wooden mushroom. You put it up like in the heel or the toe of the sock,
Yeah.
and just catch the...
Then you had different sizes, just depends.
Oh, cool. So she was a good grandmother?
Yeah. I was always afraid of her because I was afraid of everything.
What was her name?
Alina.
Really?
Yeah.
Babcia Halina. Huh.
Bobby.
Bobby.
And my mother was very elegant, etc. But she was, of you know, her build was a little bit like her father, stocky.
Uh-huh.
My Giorgio was small frame,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a masculine frame.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother had that a little bit, you know, with those hips that were a little bit bigger than.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmother was built like a typical, really ideal woman. Curvy.
Like a really nice figure.
Oh, yeah.